All right, cool. Well, thanks for joining us. For those just checking in, you are with the Leeds Edutainment Podcast. We've got a very special guest today, Tek, the legendary hip hop duo Smif-N-Wessun. Oh, there's a shot of his leg. That's good. But how's it going? How you doing, man?
Man, everything is good, man. Moving accordingly. Everything is beautiful. We're here working. That's all.
I love it. I don't know. Do you remember meeting me at all the shows at the Middle East? We've done so many over the last 15 years. I mean, I don't know if you remember. You probably meet a lot of promoters, but I'm pretty much responsible for every Smif-N-Wessun or Boot Camp Click show that happened at the Middle East.
Yeah, definitely not. Yeah, I remember you. You've always been cool riding with us.
Oh, thank you, man. Because those are some of the greatest shows that I've thrown is actually the shows that you've been a part of and the energy that you guys have. The first time I met you actually was we did a Boot Camp Click show back in like 2005. And I think you had your son with you at the time. He was very young and you brought him on tour and you actually brought him on the stage.
Right.
When you first walked out.
Yeah.
I remember that was quite the experience.
Yeah, he's a young adult now. He's 19 now, so he's not clinging to he's clinging to my pocket, but he's not holding on, wanting to go everywhere with dad now. So it's all good.
Yeah. Well, for those who don't know, you are part of probably the legendary group Smif-N-Wessun and arguably put out one of the greatest hip hop albums of all time, Shinin.
Thank you. Salute.
You're welcome. Released in January of 1995, and I just want to, I don't want to spend all the time talking on it, but I want to obviously for those who don't know, go back a little bit in time and talk about what it was like back then, making that album, and if you could just explain like what was it like to make that album, and what was your experience being in Bed-Stuy and all that, and just talk about that era a little bit if you could.
I mean, well, it was definitely a learning experience. I sometimes I say that was our second album that we made because we was there with our big brothers, Black Moon, from day one, helping them put their classic Into the Stage album together. So we was learning firsthand in the trenches while our little big brothers was working. We was able to pick up a couple of key things here and there, what to do, what not to do, how to put records together, how to put songs together, how to count bars, how to arrange songs, what melodic sounds should go here, what flows to try to experiment with. And then it was like what a lot of people might call the golden era of hip-hop. So to me, I think it was a little different because we was in it at the time, so we couldn't really get the full grasp of what they were saying as far as the golden era of hip-hop. But I just know it was a dope time to be alive and to be making music, especially to be in the presence of some genius creators that was there, like Mobb Deep, Biggie Smalls, Wu-Tang, Nas, all these groups that was dropping. And at the time, you knew it was plenty other groups that was dropping from the West, but on the East where we was recording at the time when you knew exactly which group was who was who, and who was putting what music out, and you was anxious to hear that music. I'm not knocking no group or no MC that's out today, but a lot of this shit you could barely tell a difference of who's who, of what it is. So back then you automatically knew, oh, that's so-and-so, that's them, oh, that's my niggas right there, that's the peoples right there. So you was already up and ready, anticipating the flow of it.
When you were making the album, did you guys know, like, when you were about to put it out, like, the response it was going to get? Did you have, like, a hint in making this music? Like, wow, we're really sitting on some fire. This is really going to take over. Did you feel that?
Not at all. I think we was, like I said, we was riding the hype of the Black Moon album. We were so happy for our brothers that
right.
We was just happy to get into the studio and start recording our own shit. So, we didn't have the luxury of being in a big studio just yet to record. We was recording, still recording demos in the Beat Miners kitchen and basement of Mama Dugar, rest in peace, her house over in Bushwick. So until we got, which was the hit single of an A and a double A side, Bucktown, Nothing Move But the Money, Let's Get It On. Then we trans over to going into the big studio to record, pulling out the 2-track, really diving in and getting studio time. Other than that, we were still off the coattails and the wings of Black Moon, man, just enjoying their success and wishing the best for them, going to shows, opening up for them, doing coming out in ski masks to the deep cover instrumentals, rocking the crowds. So it was all a learning experience. I don't think we was even I'm not saying we wasn't expecting it, but we had no idea that some people would be labeling a classic and we'll still be traveling the world over 3-4 times, performing the joints, opening doors to feed our children, putting people in positions that's been taking care of them for 30 plus years. So it's just been all a blessing.
Yeah. And what do you think the biggest connection was with that album? Why do you think it worked so well?
I don't know, dude. That's the magic question. I have no
I didn't know.
I guess because, again, you have to contribute it to the success of Into the Stage and the sounds that the Beat Miners came up with and created and set up for our stable, which was the Boot Camp Click, Bucktown, because we was just introducing Helter Skelter and OGC, the Boot Camp, on the album. So plus the MCs that was in it had bars, was nice. So all that played the part. That you had the gritty sound, you had the MCs that was bringing the fatigue and Timberlands to the game, something that was hardly seen. You had the patois, the way we was delivering the rhymes over those beats. It was gritty. That was life. So if you was out moving and living the way that we was living, boot champion style, you resonated with it, and it opened you up to something. Even if you wasn't living that life, the pictures we was painting was vivid for you to even see and hear at the same time. And I think that's what made the correlation through it.
Word, for real. And so the album drops, the Shinin drops, it's a classic. Everyone goes nuts. How soon after that do you get a cease and desist from Smif-N-Wessun, the gun company? How soon was it after that?
Shit, right after that, right?
Damn.
I don't even think we got a full year in. We definitely, I don't even think we had a full year of Smif-N-Wessun before they came knocking at the door trying to kick our shit in and stop what we was moving. But it ain't stopped nothing. We was swift and changeable. We was able to rock out with the Cocoa Brothers, and we was still putting out music, still going back and still a tech. And to this day, we have the right to use the name Smif-N-Wessun, so we here now.
Yeah, definitely. And you got it back, and that's important. I want to talk about the transition between Smif-N-Wessun and into Cocoa Brothers, the second album. Where was your mindset at that point after making a classic and then going into the Rude Awakening, which is the second album? What was different or changed, or what was in that process?
I mean, making the Rude Awakening, I think we had a chip on our shoulder that we was trying to tell the public we are the same group. We are Smif-N-Wessun. It's still Tek and Still. It's just a bump in the road, an obstacle that we had to get over. So, and we experienced with a little different producer. So we changed up the format, the way we learned to record and make an album. And that was the product which came as the Rude Awakening, which was, to me, was a dope ass album too. That was pretty much slept on. I guess the name change, it could have been both the gift and a curse.
Yeah.
I guess it could have been both the gift and a curse, because it actually it actually brought more listeners to us under the name of Cocoa Bros. Like today, even in this day and age, people still recognize us as Cocoa Brothers. So it helped, and it just, I'm not gonna say it hurt us, but it stopped from what Smif-N-Wessun could have became, because it hit us so quick that we just had to keep pushing or fall by the wayside. We wouldn't even be here.
Right. And then you talk about switching up the production on Rude Awakening. Was that like a conscious choice, or was that just like something you had to do? I mean, because you went from Beatminerz producing to Shinin completely, right?
Right.
To them doing some of the production on Rude Awakening. I think even you guys did a little production on the album too, right?
Yeah, well, not me. Still, my
Still
partner PNC is he's the producer of the group. I'm just the dangerous one.
did.
He's white liquor. I'm dark liquor. So it's like yeah. But that was more of a conscious thing. Like I said, I think we was trying to get a nut off and prove a point. Like y'all ain't stopping nothing. And
Right.
I think we had grown as individuals, as young men in the business. So I think wanting to experiment and touch that next level of being an artist, you trying to experiment with different music and wanting to know what's your limit and trying to tear the ceilings off or whatever was there. So I think that was more of a conscious thing we did. And again, I think it works for us in that day and age, at that day and time right there.
Right. So then it's like you got the group, and now you come together as Boot Camp Click. It all falls under Duck Down, then comes in, and now it's all under Duck Down, and it's like a pure collective. What's that experience like, working and putting together albums with so many deadly MCs? Like, what's that like?
Salute to everybody that's saying. Y'all moving so fast, I can't even see the names. I'm glancing and they going
Yeah, it's
so
tough.
quick. Flex Potato,
It's tough.
CPC, Miss A. I see y'all. Okay, what you asking?
So I was just asking about, working with the whole entire Boot Camp Clique. Is it all family? Is it all? What's that like?
Yeah, hell yeah, Boot Camp. This shit is deeper than rap, man. It's all family. We was family and friends before we either one of us even had a record contract in front of us or a record deal. The entire Boot Camp Clique, is, with the exception of Buckshot and myself, is from Brownsville. So I started riding my motorcycle or my bike or whatever I was on at that time, little hoopties, or even walking from the style over to the Ville to get up with these guys. And then my PNC, my brother Still, mom's Mama Love Barber was her and my mom's had the same name. She opened up her heart and her arms and the doors to her home, and we was all living under one roof, under the Dog Hilly in East New York on Pennsylvania. So it was definitely all family-based, family-oriented. Of course, y'all know Steele and DOG are brothers, and all the rest of us was brothers and cousins, and it just happened to fit into the puzzle that way that it wasn't nothing that needed to be changing. So recording with them guys, they was already nice before I even started rapping, before I even came along. So all I had to do was just chisel off my shit, get my shit together, and it was a perfect fit for all of us.
Right. Yeah. Moving forward, you get the name back and you put out a few more albums, and you've also done some solo projects. I really love this last one. Not your solo, the Smif-N-Wessun, the All. We'll get into your solo. We'll get into your solo afterwards.
Dope.
I really loved where your guys' mind was at on that album, mixed with Ninth Wonder production. Let's talk about that.
It's not just Ninth Wonder. It's the whole entire Soul Council contributed to that album. I know some of them be like, "Damn, Ninth ain't the only one that did." So just to because that's extended family. we started fucking with Soul Council and Ninth a while ago. Well, for Buckshot and Shaw and Price was the first to start recording with them. Then we did the trilogy joint, the Formula, Monkey Bars, and the other Smif-N-Wessun album that we did. So again, that took me back to the process of recording the Shinin, because it was so family orientated. Ask them who is Shucky Ducky. Shucky Ducky is the head of street team, man. That's our brother.
Shout out to street teams.
Yeah.
For those who don't know.
Shucky Ducky. That's that dude. It took us back to being around family and being solidly and firmly planted with having a direction or knowing which way you wanted to go. Because when we went in to record the All, we had a chalkboard, one of the white stencil boards. So we marked down every part. The seltzer water got me burping like a motherfucker. We wrote down every title we thought we would come up with a song. We wrote down every name of who we would want to do a feature with, and we started writing down album titles. So as Knife is a professor in a college out there. So as he's finishing that job, we're waking up. We're already in the studio from being up at 5:30, making fire, 6 in the morning, going to get some breakfast, going straight to the studio. So it's wake up, breakfast, pray, go to the studio, stay in the studio all night, break day or do whatever we had to do. And being on the compound, for what I like to call it, because it was their own studios, like no building connected to anything, just go in there, you bang out. I was binge watching my one of my favorite shows, Snowfall, at the time, and I was watching my joint. What's the name of that shit? Scary Things. I think that was it. Scary Things.
Stranger Things.
Stranger Things. There you go. Stranger Things. Yo, Tek, can I ask you a question? Shoot. So binge watching them two pictures, those two Netflix joint, well, Pricele was on TV, whatever the fuck they are. And it was a 7-year hiatus from our last album up until this. So being that we're still traveling and working, putting out joints in between, it's been a minute since we came together as Smif-N-Wessun to rock something. So being you got the opportunity, once you got the ball in your court, you gotta take the shots. And Ninth Wonder was definitely an intricate plot. So is Crisis, E. Jones, Sister Rhapsody, Heather. They all came together and greeted us with open arms. Ideas was flowing around. We locked in the back, they in the front door, whatever. Each room is making different beats. You got a writing session here, you over here, and it was just an incredible feeling. I think the things we came up with was something. I think it was something new and shocking to us that we didn't really foresee coming or have in the mind that it was going to work that way. And I think we put a dope ass project together.
It's one of the best projects I think to come out in a while. But I really, a lot of it really has, and why I love it was just like, it just feels like you guys hit a place where you were at peace with where you were at, like in the spirituality side of it that you really embraced, that I didn't really have heard you embrace on other albums as strongly as on that one. Is that fair to say? Like, yeah,
that's hitting the nail on the head. That's hitting the nail on the head, because really, a lot of people ask us, yo, what kept Smif-N-Wessun together? I never hear talk about y'all breaking up or no shit. And that's really what it is. It's our belief in the religion, our belief in each other, and the family ties that we have together. And that's what really keep us bonded. I mean, we'll disagree on Joyce putting music together, or even just hanging out, or doing, if he want to put fucking salmon on the grill instead of shrimp. So it all plays into, it's proper spots of where it's supposed to go at. And again, the shit we came up with, we got the features we hit for. I think we only missed like maybe 2 features we was going after, which was a Mary J and a Nas. So I don't think those are like the only two we missed. Everything else is right on point.
Yeah. And also, so you do your solo thing too. You have this new project, Priceless, right? Is that title aimed at, the passing of, is Ty aimed at the passing of Sean
Absolutely,
Price?
absolutely, absolutely. This is dedicated to our brother Sean Price as well as my family. Um, I started working on Priceless like right during and in the midst of the pandemic. I had another EP called Pandemic that I had dropped.
Yep.
I was working on both of them at the same time, and it once the pandemic, because we were supposed to be on a world tour the day they closed the world down. We was actually supposed to be out of here, just coming back sometime now or some shit like that. So once that set me down, it made me gather my thoughts and what am I doing with my life and where I came from and what has been done, and it just started reflecting more on values and things that's priceless that money can't buy, such as raising your child, raising a son or daughter, or being with your loved ones. The loss of our brother Sean Price. Um, my wife lost her dad to COVID, so um, I want to send condolences to all those out there who lost a loved one to condolences. My condolences to the pandemic and COVID. So that really set me back and had me thinking like, shit, I know we go out and do it for the money or some might do it for the fame, whatever you want to do it for. But once that's gone, what do you have and what are you leaving behind? What's your legacy gonna be? And you start seeing the things that mean more and more to you, and you start labeling that is priceless. That is priceless. Just being able. That was shit. It was times motherfuckers couldn't even go to the hospital. They was dying by themselves. Like you couldn't even watch a child being born. It was so much shit that no matter how much money you had or what you was doing, you couldn't change what Allah had put forth. So I had to learn from that and see what that was leading me to. And Priceless just came out of fucking left field and it stuck with it. And I was like, that's the one we going with.
Yeah, COVID really leveled the playing field, man. It really did.
Good luck.
Yeah. Um, no, what's it like recording? My condolences to your family and anyone, like I said, anyone who's lost a loved one or anyone during this pandemic. And what's it like though, going from working? Is there a different process for you between recording with the group Smif-N-Wessun and then doing your solo? Do you approach it with like a different aesthetic? Or is it like you're going for a different sound or different direction than you would normally do with Smif-N-Wessun? Is that as far as the music goes?
I mean,
Content-wise, maybe?
I don't even fucking know, to tell you the truth. I don't know, man. Each time I go into the studio, I go assassin style. I'm going to kill something. I'm going to, whether it's me and Steel on the track, whether it's a feature, each joint is approached different, but I'm still going to knock a head off or to put my best effort forward and make it stand out.
Right.
I think me recording Priceless, it was a little easier because I had Steel's blessings, so to say, on this one. Like not all the others, even though we rock with each other, it's like once he told me, yo, I see you in the zone, you doing something. I don't know what happened. I love it. I just want you to keep doing it. So from there on, it was like, oh shit, I got the green light. Now the restraints are lifted. I could just do what I feel. And I think my sound, me personally, is a little different from Smif-N-Wessun, but it can't be that much different because it's still Tek. It's still me.
Right.
I think it was a little simpler because I didn't have to write as much. But at the same time, I had to write more because it's just me on the track. I can't depend on him as a crutch, or I can't depend on him to take it over at the end of this verse if we doing back to back. Oh, do this and do that, because now he's not there. Even though he's in the studio, he might be there. he's doing what he's doing, whatever he's doing. He's just there for support and everything. But if I need him to be on it, then of course that's without saying. But yeah, it's just, I think, like I said, just being in those situations of losing so much shit that was so close to you. My dad having a stroke. I think I had to find an outlet that I could bury myself in and take my mind off of so much of the negativity and get away from it, just escape it for a little while. And that was being in the studio. That was making music. I had to dive in that. Started another movement called Culture Pushers with my partner Flash from Jersey. So it's I'm still in that process because it feels almost natural now. It feels so good now, and I don't want to lose grasp of that energy, the way that we are moving and working. And yeah, so Priceless is really the first to come after the first intro up to what Culture Pushers is bringing.
So what is exactly Culture Pushers? What is that all
What
about?
Culture Pushers is I was waiting for the garbage truck to go by. Culture Pushers Collective is a project that we as a group have, Culture Pushers, to try to, all right, like how you was talking about earlier, recording the Shinin. Like we had people with labels used to call A&Rs or artist development that help an artist find his way or find his style, find his fit. So that shit don't exist no more. Like you don't even hear about it. You go to the mall, you get a $2,000 outfit, you get some jewelry, you're a rapper, or you got some cars in your video, some bitches shaking their ass, you on now. So Culture Pushers is some brothers and sisters that came together to protect what is ours, this thing of ours, and try to nurture it and bring it back to a whole 360 degrees form, where you're not out there signing the wrong deals. We making sure you trying to, if that's what you want, then we're trying to help you and show you the proper way of to go about even getting that deal, to get the right deal. Make sure you own your masters. Make sure you have shit, your brand is trademarked or copywritten or things of that nature. We're helping you how to speak during interviews, or just bring the potential that we see out of you to get to where you trying to get to, exceed, to make the best come out of you. So that's basically what Culture Pushers is. We actually have an album all together that we're dropping, I want to say sometime this summer. We're actually in the mastering stage right now, which is volume 1 and 2. And they got some shit up there. Our first artist is called Chills. I am Chills on Instagram. You can check them out, from Brooklyn. We got some shit up there, baby. It's gonna be busting heads.
Nice. So
Cheese.
shout out to all the people listening and making
Yes,
comments.
Cheese. We are developing artists. Yes, Cheese.
Yeah.
Mr. Flips, I just got your message. Thank you, brother. I'm here for you. Just hit me when you finish. As you see, I'm doing the interview. I see you.
So we'll wrap this up soon, but where you at? Where's your head at now in the game? 25, 26. Where do you see it?
Think right now, I'm just trying to add on and have substance and have structure to where going my family, my son have something. Once I hang up the mic or whatever it be, Allah takes me to wherever He has destined for me to go. My family, my shit could carry on. Like
Right.
that's where my head is at, to have something to give back to not only my family, but even people that supported and rocked with Smif-N-Wessun from day one. Like if you live the life and you leave nothing to carry on and for people to use once you're gone, what type of life did you live? Like what is your purpose here? Like our gift wasn't to be just with us. He didn't give us this gift just to keep to ourselves. Like that's the gift of being an MC, of being a producer, being a journalist, being a club promoter. You tap into all these different entities and energies, and you bring them forth and you deliver it to other people. So they feed off of your energy, and if outside of that, they find their worth, they find their value. So now it's like you paying it forward. So that's where I'm at with it right now. I'm not trying to be preachy to tell everybody, yo, go do a good deed and write it down and mark it on the calendar. I'm just telling you, like, what motivates me and what was my hustle and motivation that keeps me going.
Wow. Respect to Tek. I really want to thank you for coming through and sharing this time.
Salute.
And hopefully we'll be doing shows again soon. Hopefully,
Oh man, hell yeah, we got to. I'm tired of being here, B. I'm ready to move around.
People in the comments have been saying like boot camp clicks were the best. Smif-N-Wessun shows were the best shows of the Middle East. So I have to agree that they were up there. You guys put on a hell of a show. So I thank everybody for tuning into Leedz Edutainment Podcast. And Tek, we salute you and talk soon.
Salute. Let's get it. Oh, be on the lookout for the Terminology and Tek album. Technology.
Did Term remind you to say that?
That's going to be
Term remind you? Shout out Term. He's always on time.
Nah, Term is in. I didn't even see Term, but Term is my twin.
But I could see Term being like, yo, don't forget about the album. Shout out Term.
I'll just try to plug it. Be on the lookout for that Culture Pushers. You see, we got the merch coming and everything. So
I love it.
Keep your ear to the streets, baby. Priceless.
Take care, bro.
Salute.
Later.